Alright, hey there, groovy dudes and dudettes. This is Thomper P. Thompin, and this is round 12 of the Virginia Championship Hare Scramble Series. It's the Rattlesnake race here in October 2021. It's held at Wythe Raceway outside of World Retreat, Virginia. So once again, VCHSS did a great job setting up this course. And I immediately want to send out a huge thank you to all the people who volunteered their time to be court marshals to head out throughout the course and make sure that people make their turns. You know, they're radioing in any problems or anything like that. Huge thank you to you guys for doing that. I always try to shout thanks whenever I see you guys out there just to show some appreciation. But this race is muddy. And it was just a regular dead engine start race, but all the lines ahead of us were doing the start from the front of your bike thing, so why not? So I know it's going to be muddy, and I'm inexperienced with mud racing, very inexperienced. And I missed my starter button the first go anyways, so I wasn't going for the whole shot, but that just ensured that I didn't get it. So yeah, this one's muddy, as you're gonna see, and I quickly realized that I got rattled by the mud. I got shooken up a bit, like it threw me for a loop. So getting more confident at mud racing is now at the top of my list for things to do, for sure. Yeah, just getting a feel for it here. The front tire's already caking up quite a bit. I'm running tubeless, and I've got the stock tires, AT81 Dunlops on there. Decent tread left on them. Rear's running about 8 PSI, and the front was at about 11. I know I probably should have dropped both those down. There, I was just yelling how sloppy it was. I'm a big Chris Farley fan, and I was just reminiscing about their Lunch Lady Land Sloppy Joe song. So every time I say sloppy, I have to say sloppy. Yeah, so right after the start there in the center field raceway, we jump into scoring real quick. So a little bit of a different setup. And then you really dive into the woods and get started with your race. I know I'm going to be slow on this one, so I'm just letting folks pass already. I hope these ruts and the sloppiness come through on camera. This was gnarly. Oh man, if you're not used to it, it was a workout big time. So here's one of the first turns, and I just lay it down. I don't know, too much front brake probably. Slid out in front of me, and I realized the bike's spilling gas. Go pick that up real quick. Pick it up, slide the bike out of the rut. Now you can just see how much traffic there is. So here's another turn. I figure, I'll take the inside line here. Maybe it'll be less muddy. And then I missed the rut with my front tire. Start dog tracking. Did a lot of dog tracking.
Oh my gosh.
This is still very much in the beginning of the race.
Still got the littlest hills. How did you do that?
You remember when Ricky Carmichael did a mud race and he lapped the whole field, basically? I was just trying to channel my inner Ricky Carmichael. So here, there's 3 lines. This is the first major bottleneck, I would say, of course. If you go straight, there's a fork in the road. You can go left over the steeper hill, or you can go right around it. Or you can go left and cut through the woods. I really wanted to go left, but I felt like I was already too far ahead to make that turn. So I decided to gun it up here, and my front tire grabbed the traction where my rear tire didn't. So I got the bike resituated. I got a little bit of traction. Just keep dog tracking on this hill. You can see though, some people are making it up pretty good. If you get a decent amount of momentum at the bottom of the hill, you can make it up. And I'm really learning that right here. Layer down one more time. Got up pretty quick though. And over here is where I actually dive into the woods during that little, I don't know, what do you want to call it, like a hotline bypass, a little bit of a bypass. I'm still in that 20-foot zone, so it's good to go. But there's a little bit more grip over here for sure. So that's the main trail right there to the right. That just allows you to bypass that final section of that hill climb. But you keep climbing right after that. Climb. Just trying to hit these ruts and not do that. Again, I'm really inexperienced at these super muddy races.
Holy shnikes!
Shout what everybody's thinking. So he dives in, drops in, hits that real good. All right, I'll just try and do what he does. Get this first section okay, but then I lose balance a little bit, and I lose all momentum. Luckily, I still had enough to make it up, but could have done that a lot faster. Just keeps climbing. So yeah, look at how quick he's going. Carry some speed through that corner, and you can rocket right up these. Like me here, dog tracking again. Just hop off and I kind of run with the bike to get up to this flatter section. A little later through the woods on some downhills, and I'm rattled here. Like, I just don't have confidence in the front end of my bike here. Maybe I can do some adjusting with the forks, like maybe up down a couple millimeters. And here I am unapologetically loving the fact that these 300s are just total cheater bikes. I think that saved me. I would have had a lot tougher time on a 150 or something. I just little to no confidence here at this point. As you can see, look how slow I'm going. This isn't too bad right here. So I had a rough go the whole race. I took a couple breaks. I'll put in whatever position I came in the description once I find out, but it's not good. This was by far my worst showing. But in the same light, though, it's great. It totally exposed me and identified a new area where I can really work on improving. So if you have tips for riding mud, please let me know. I know there's different dynamics there, whether you're going uphill, downhill, or like flat sections, like kind of like this flat section coming up. So here's a pretty flat section, but there are some deep ruts here and there, and some thick soupy mud, like right there, deep ruts. You gotta hit those. If you've got any tips on body position, like throttle control, like bike setup, let me know. I want to start implementing that stuff and getting better at that kind of riding for sure. I think I definitely need to, well, stand up more, as always, but lean back a lot farther and just let the bike dance. This one wasn't too bad. Still very wet and muddy, but there weren't any super deep ruts to really Yep. And I found it difficult to gain speed heading up these hills. Just because of the whole traction issue, it's really tough to pick more speed up. So I was happy to just keep cruising. And up in the woods, the dirt actually got pretty good. I was still taking it slow. Again, the
real dirt.
Lack of confidence that I just got. I got spooked. Can't have that.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but the woods cleaned up really good. So I had a big chunk of mud on my camera there for the rest of the first lap, but coming through scoring here, finished up the first lap, made it through. There was a really tough hill climb, which I'll show later, and I kind of have my redeeming moment of the race. It was a final hill climb at the end, and I actually do a pretty good job my final time through there. Definitely my best part of the whole race. So lap 2, I've got a little bit more confidence, a much better feel for how the front end's doing. And here's another one of those sections where I want to go faster. Yep, it's sloppy, it's slick, and it's rutted and chewed out, but as you'll see, there's other people who are going by me at a much quicker pace through here. Or sections similar to that. So here's that first turn where I tipped over and I had gas pouring out. And I just fishtailed. I didn't hit the rut. So I pulled my bike out, get back to climbing. Stalling halfway up hills. Hey, I'm just trying to get my money's worth. These sloppy climbs definitely had an element of fun to them. Part of me loves the battle. That just being on the edge of maintaining momentum, sometimes that's just a lot of fun. You're feathering the clutch here and there, you're trying not to spin the rear tire. Just that barely hanging on to momentum. I love that. So here's that same hill where you can go through the woods or up and take that fork in the road towards the beginning. I decided to go through the woods, and he was walking back to his bike.
You all right? Okay. My bad, man.
But he was good. I was good. Made sure he was okay. Moving on. No harm done there. So this is that little bypass towards the beginning where I finally connected with it halfway up on the first lap. I swear I get moving here. Trying not to spin. Trying not to spin. See, there's another guy stuck on that stuff. That hill was giving people problems. So here I wish I had a little bit more momentum. Right there I need to throttle so I can start this hill with more speed, because it ends up in a pretty tricky spot up here. A little better through there than the first time. Here's another example of where I just gotta I gotta hit that berm. Yeah, it's slick, but I gotta hit that berm a lot harder and faster. And then line up a rut and go. Because up here, oh, I'm starting to lose it, starting to fishtail. Luckily, these guys came up.
Come on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I owe them a beer when they turn 21.
So those young guys helped me out, and I probably would not have crested that hill if they weren't there for that final itty bitty shove, because I lost momentum fishtailing a little bit. So here I cross over some deep ruts, and this is just pure slop. Fishtailing, losing momentum. Trying to not feather too much and burn it up. And I'm ending up all sorts of different directions. This was nutty. So this kind of stuff tires you out a little bit, but not too bad. Trying to back up, get to some traction. Just get the momentum going, and lug. See, you hit that with more speed, you'd be 10-20 seconds ahead by now, instead of crawling. Another little downhill section. Trying to hit it with a little bit more speed lap 2. Slowly but surely getting a better feel for how things are working up there in the front. I end up getting passed up here by this younger rider who's going really good through here. I want to be able to get up to that kind of speed. They should pass me here any second. Nope, wrong hill. Or wrong section. It's coming up here in a minute though after these hill climbs. Not too bad up here. I finally find a little bit of traction and get her into third and can just kind of hold a nice steady pace. This is a really fun climb. There's another rider cruising on by. Long one. That was fun. Just another rutted up, chewed out downhill. Trying to hit these ruts, but also let people pass when I hear them coming. I'm not trying to hold nobody up. I know I'm going slow this race, especially this one. But that gave me a good chance to kind of watch that rider and how their body position was hitting the downhill ruts and stuff. Stalling it out. I won't tell if you don't. So maybe this is that section where that rider passes me. Flat, muddy, rutted. I should be standing up and leaning way back, I think. So they told us about this pond. This is towards the end of the lap, so I only did 2. I took too many breaks. I had too many sections where I was just wasting time in the bottlenecks and things like that. But this is a good spot where I think I can go way faster. This is where the rider passes me. He passes me in kind of a complicated spot. I took the outside rut, he took the inside rut. I think it was a he. And he just went cruising. But here we approach the final difficult hill climb. This is where I kind of redeem myself a little bit. So you have an uphill left-hand turn, and you can either keep going straight to a part where I've never been before, or you can go right up a really, really steep section. I went right the first time, and I made it up. I think I made it up without stopping. It wasn't pretty, but I made it up. So I'm familiar with the right-hand side. I say I'm going to go up there. But
Go left.
the court marshal tells me there, not court marshal, court marshal. The course marshal tells me, hey, probably better to go left. I'm like, all right, well, last second, I'll just follow his advice, you know. He's been watching several riders and how they've been doing. And I'm thinking here, hey, this ain't too bad. It flattens out, and oh, everybody stopped.
You go, you go.
So he's pointing to a little hot route through the rhododendrons there. I'm like, all right, yeah, that obviously looks like the best place to go from here. So we kind of funnel through those, and we bypass that little super off-camber, sloppy turn down there. That thing was messing people up. But I actually grabbed first gear for the first time this race. And I actually do okay right here. I had a little goof up right there where I lost a little momentum, but I was able to regain it and make it up this kind of rocky, not rocky, but rooty, muddy, sloppy climb. I barely made it.
Oh, I can't see anything.
But I was really proud of that. Yeah, and by then my goggles had fogged up like crazy. But you exit out of there, and then you jump into the raceway again. So where I grew up, we had a dirt track that was almost identical to this. So this was really cool for me. This brought back a lot of fond memories. I would love to actually come down here and watch a race one day. So I think right there I hit, probably about 90 miles per hour, give or take, on that left turn. Give or take. But this is the part I missed the first lap because I had a big old spot of mud on the camera. But yeah, you hit that big turn and you come back down into the infield, hit a few of these 180-degree turns, maybe a 90 or two. People were going pretty quick through here. You can even blow the turn wide and get into the slop. So yeah, again, I was super humbled by this experience. It really, really identified how much work I want to do on body position and really standing up on the pegs, and I gotta get better about letting that bike just dance between your legs, how the back end's just kicking out. Because obviously when you're standing up, you can react better to those unpredictable moments, and you can maintain a lot of momentum. So this was a good overall experience. It was an absolutely terrible race for me. Like I did so bad, but all good in the end. Had a blast. Got a little muddy. That's always fun. But yeah, after this infield section, you just come right back up to. You go take this side trail, and then you come up into scoring. So I only got 2 laps done. Lots of breaks, lots of times getting stuck. I cut out a lot of the really slow sections, letting people pass and stuff like that. But yeah, this is gnarly. There's only one more race left this year. I'll be there. Little right-hand turn. Plug in the cheater bike. That's it. Thanks for watching, everybody.